Hiya! Welcome! This is Records Roundup number 88, and before I get cracking showing you the latest vinyl that I've added to the collection, I just want to give you a bit of a hi-fi upgrade update. I'm not going to spend too long on this, so don't worry, but it was something that I've mentioned in a couple of previous videos. As things stand now, and I'm recording this near the end of August, things have been kind of up and down with the upgrade. Mostly up, but one or two downs as well, so things aren't done yet. But I'm able to play vinyl again, but it's on what I would call an interim setup. And I won't go into a lot of detail. I'll talk more about the problems that I had getting my new hi-fi system up and running when it eventually is, which I'm hoping maybe next week from when I'm recording this, not from when you're watching this. Hopefully when you're watching this it'll be sorted. I'm gonna go into a lot more detail about it when I do the hi-fi reveal video, and if there's any more problems then at least I can still play vinyl. I've just basically set my old turntable back up and I'm able to stream the audio via Bluetooth to a new little system, a secondary system that I've got, but I'll show you that in the proper hi-fi video as well. Anyway, right, enough about that. Let's get on and show you what I've got. So, a few impulse purchases here that are in sales on websites, and there's at least a couple of new releases as well. In fact, we'll start with a new release 7-inch single. This one from Pet Shop Boys, and this is Him in Memoriam Alexei Navalny. So this is quite expensive, this, £40, but it's very limited. It's hand numbered. Mine is number 208 out of only 300, and it's also been signed on the back by Neil Tennant, Chris Lowe, and the widow of Alexei Navalny. It's got the choral mix on the B side and the normal version on the A. A lot to pay, £40 for a 7-inch single, but A, I knew it was very limited, so it was a case of either getting it as soon as I saw it announced or miss out, and B, the proceeds for this do go to a Russian freedom charity. I think there's a few more details on screen now. It's just black vinyl. I've already got the Pet Shop Boys autographs because I got a signed print when I bought the Hotspot album on CD back when that came out in, that was 2020 I think, but I've got their signatures on an actual record this time, which is very nice. It's for a good cause. Happy that I got it. I've seen people flipping this for stupid money on Discogs already. My advice would be don't pay it. None of that money's going to go to charity neither. But anyway, I feel lucky that I was able to get this before it sold out from Pet Shop Boys store itself. Pet Shop Boys, Him. Next up is a purchase that I made from last night from Glasgow, and they had another one of their 30% off codes that I received in my email inbox, and I was looking around on their site for quite a while. There was nothing that was massively jumping out at me, and then I came across this, and I've not got any music, any records, albums, singles or anything by this band, but I think I did have one of their singles back in the day on CD, but nothing in the collection currently. And I thought, you know, this is a greatest hits, it's a compilation, it's probably all I need from this band, so I thought I'd get it. And it is Teenage Wildlife, 25 Years of Ash. It says members price £17. That's probably around what I paid, but that was including the 30% discount, and I'm not a member of their website. I haven't really looked into that because I know they offer sort of extra records, and it's usually ones local to their own boutique label in Scotland. It's a 2 LP album, this. Lots that I know on here and plenty that I don't. The single that I think I had on CD back in, it would have been the late 90s, was Shining Light, which is a great single, but I actually think they probably did better before that, really. Like Girl from Mars and Oh Yeah, for instance. All I really need from Ash, really, a compilation. They're still going. I think they've got a new album coming out very soon, if it's not already out by the time you're watching this. But happy to have Teenage Wildlife, and it's on black vinyl, by the way, that's why I'm not getting this open.
Sitting in our dreamy days by the water's edge, on a cool summer night, fireflies and stars in the sky, gentle glowing light from your cigarette. The breeze blowing softly on the face reminds me of something else, something that in my memory has been misplaced. Suddenly all comes back, and as I look to the stars, I remember the time I knew I'd go from Mars. I don't know if you knew that. Oh, except they playing cards and they winter with cigars, but she never told me her name. I still love you, girl from Mars. Searching through the darkness over the moon strand, electricity in the air, twisting all through the night on the terrace.
Next up, a purchase from Juno, and it was the latest in the ZYX Greatest Hits and Remixes vinyl reissues. So these Greatest Hits and Remix compilations that is mostly Italo disco, but you get a few other European-centric genres in the range as well. They've come out on CD over the past 5-6 plus years, and eventually they all seem to be getting a vinyl issue now as well. This is the latest one from the Dutch project Digital Emotion. So I just looked on Juno under ZYX to see what they had. These are never particularly expensive. I can't remember the price of this, but including postage it would have been well under £20. It's just black vinyl, I believe. It's got that nice I Love Italo Disco hype sticker on there. I love these compilations. I'll pick up as many as I can, really. I've not got a full collection, and as I say, there's some that did get released on CD over the past few years that maybe will get a vinyl issue eventually. So I'm still looking for more of these. Amazon can sometimes be a good place to find them for cheap. eBay as well. Discogs, I don't tend to look for them as much on Discogs, but I'm sure there's some good deals out there. But happy that I've got Digital Emotion's Greatest Hits and Remixes. Next up, couple of pickups, couple of reissues that were announced a couple of months ago, and I was absolutely delighted by this announcement. For my New Order and Related collection, My favourite of the spin-offs or the satellite projects, Electronic, announced that they were releasing their second and third studio albums on vinyl. The third one, which we'll get to in a moment, has never been out on vinyl before. The first one, or the second studio album, but the first of these two from Electronic, is Raise the Pressure. It's just black vinyl again. Got this from HMV, as I did the next one. I love this album. I listened to this chronically back when it first came out, back in the mid-90s, well, 1996, I suppose that's mid-90s, isn't it? It had a vinyl issue. I mean, I wasn't a record collector back then, so I would have ignored that anyway. But the original vinyl has been long out of print and has gone for a lot of money on the aftermarket. And this one theoretically should be better because it's split out over 2 LPs, whereas the first one wasn't. So remastered, and it'll sound better than the initial 1996 vinyl. Wonderful album this. I can't speak highly enough of it. The only album really from Electronic that is slightly better is their self-titled debut, and I do have that on vinyl. I've had a reissue of that for a few years now, but this one is a very, very close second. In fact, sometimes, depending on what I've listened to and what my mood is, this one is actually my favourite, so it's difficult for me to really pick. There's some absolutely fantastic stuff on here, and I think it's a little bit underrated in kind of Electronic and New Order fan circles, really. It's got a hype sticker there that says it was mastered at Abbey Road Studios. Absolutely love this album. If you don't buy the vinyl edition, and if you're a record collector, you probably should, but if you don't, just stream it or get it on CD for cheap, as this is a massive, massive recommendation from me. Raise the Pressure.
Down a cemetery. The smiling faces of the neighbors, proud of their endeavors, unemployed forever. What should be at home? You don't have to wait. Well, we'll carry on. Stare in your face. It won't stay for long. Let's be a nation. Sit upon a throne. Don't ever hesitate. Just carry on. You don't have to wait. Well, we'll carry on. Stare in your face. It won't stay for long. Let's be a nation. Sit upon a throne. Don't ever hesitate. Just carry on.
But also from Electronic, out at the same time as Raise the Pressure, was the third and to date final album from Bernard Sumner and Johnny Marr, Twisted Tenderness. Another one with a hype sticker, another one that's just black vinyl, by the way, but pressed on vinyl for the first time, so this never got an LP release back in 1999. I have this album on mini disc. I used to have it on UK CD, and I also had the American CD for a while, which had a lot of remixes on. I did sell that at some point, but I managed to get all the remixes back anyway on the various singles and promo 10-inch singles that came out for this album. My Electronic collection on vinyl is now complete. All their albums out on the format, including their fairly recent, well, it's not that recent, but within the last 10 years, I think, compilation, Get the Message, that got a vinyl issue a couple of years or so back. So it's my least favourite. I don't think it's as good as the first two albums by any stretch, but there's still some great stuff on here, and I'm still so happy that Twisted Tenderness has come out on wax. Next up is 3 pickups from Bending Sound. Now, Bending Sound had a 50% off, or up to 50% off, but I think all of these here did actually have the full half price, the full 50% off. And while I'd say 2 of them I think are pretty impulsive, and the other one I don't collect him sort of, you know, with any kind of laser focus, but it does fit my collection, but we'll get to that. First one is Ring by the Connells. The Connells are a band from, I think there's something like North Carolina or something like that. It probably says on screen. And the only song of theirs that I even know really is 74-75, which was a hit, a sort of minor to major-ish hit, kind of top 20, a couple of times in the mid-90s. This album, I think, originally came out in 93, but 74, 75, it took a couple of years for that to get released or to have any interest here in the UK. And it's one of my favourite singles of all time. It's a beautiful track. It's a song that as soon as I put it on, you know, I feel a kind of warmth come over me. And I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the rest of the album. I had the single back in the day on CD. I've got the track digitally. Yeah, I thought half price, so this would have been, the original price was £29, so this would have been about £14.50, I think, from Bending Sound. I thought, you know, under £15, I'll give it a go. It's a reissue, of course, so rather more modern than originally when it came out in, I think, 1993, at least in America. So happy to have Ring by the Connells.
It's not easy, nothing to say 'cause it's already said. It's never easy. When I look on your eyes, then I find that I'll define. When I look on your eyes, then I'll do better. I was the one that you know, I was just sorry.
Also from Bending Sound is Forever Young by Alphaville. Alphaville, of course, a German synth pop group, still going today, I believe, in some guise anyway. And I'm quite surprised that I've never owned anything by Alphaville before, because I love synth pop, I love a lot of German acts, and I love at least one of the singles on here. In fact, there's a couple that I know I really like. Forever Young, the title track, which surprisingly did nothing in the UK. It, like, I think, scraped the lower end of the top 100 singles, but it's like their signature song, and it did very well in other countries, and it's been sampled and covered numerous times ever since, from the mid-80s onwards, really. Their big hit in the UK was Big in Japan. That did get top 10 in the UK, and it's another one I like. I don't like it as much as Forever Young. And I thought, you know, there again, take a punt on this. Half price, so £24 is its sticker price, so I would have got it for 12. Great sale from Bending Sound. I figure I'll take a punt on almost anything when it's that cheap, and I think I'm going to enjoy a lot of what's on here, as why wouldn't I? Alphaville are right up my street, really, and Forever Young, a bit like 74, 75, really, one of my all-time favourite singles. So I could just put that on, and happiness is achieved instantly, really. Forever Young, the debut album, reissued, of course, from Alphaville. Penultimate to show you today, and the last one from Bending Sound sale, is the latest studio album from Morrissey, I'm Not a Dog on a Chain. So this is the only coloured vinyl to show you today. It's on clear red, so we will get this open in a moment. I don't collect Morrissey as such. I do have his previous 2 studio albums on vinyl. He's someone, I'll pick them up if I see I'm on a really good discount. And this one, half price, it was a really good discount. Doesn't say what the price was, but I think this ended up being about £9.50. So under £10 for a Morrissey studio album, I think is a fantastic deal, really. Bending Sound, absolutely marvellous sale. I do highly recommend that you go and check them out and sign up for their mailing list so that you know the next time they've got such a good sale on. Morrissey, I know, he's been in the music news a little bit of late because apparently he's got at least a couple of unreleased albums ready to go, but there's some legal issues or something. I haven't looked into it very much. So this technically still remains his most recent actually released album, but I think he has got one that should be coming out by the end of the year, I think, but I don't know if it's one of the supposed already recorded ones or something completely new. There's your inner, and yep, that's a very nice red, fairly translucent, looking a little bit dark on camera. Perhaps it'll brighten up a bit in post-production. I don't know why that happens, but it sometimes does. Feels like there's something else in here. It might be an insert maybe, or even a download code. Yeah, it's a lyric insert there. I've got all the Smiths albums on vinyl, all the studio albums and the early compilations, and Rank, the live album. And while it'd be nice to kind of have a full Morrissey solo album discography as well, as I say, I'm only really picking these up when I see them at a good discount. But looking forward to hearing I'm Not a Dog on a Chain.
Stack for shack, Mexican mud, little Joe in the snow. Bobby, don't you think they know? Bobby, don't you think they know? Aren't you tired of pretending? I know you're tortured below, but all the pleasure you bring for us, all whenever you sing for us, all the pleasure you bring for us, all whenever you sing for us. 8-track.
And finally, something that came in the post mere moments ago. It officially came out yesterday, as I'm recording this on a Saturday, but it's come from Rough Trade. It is a 12-inch single, this, and I was alerted to it, I think, from this group's Instagram account. I do always like Rough Trade's mailers, very nicely designed. And what we have is the latest single from Factory Floor. This is Tell Me, and it's basically already unsealed because it's not got a proper sleeve. It's got like this sort of folder type sleeve here. It's just black vinyl. The reason I got this from Rough Trade is that this is a Rough Trade exclusive sleeve. I think there's only 150 copies of this. It's probably still available. I think it was when I checked a day or two ago. So you might get lucky. They might have a certain amount left on Rough Trade's website. Also, it came in like a white sleeve with, I think, blue text on their Bandcamp page for one thing, and possibly some other websites. The reason I've got it, similar to the last time I picked up a Factory Floor single, was because Stephen Morris provides drum programming on here, so it goes into my New Order and Joy Division collection. Just 2 tracks on, an extended version and then the normal version. Nothing else to really say about it. That is Factory Floor and Tell Me.
I tell you something. I tell you something. I tell you something. I like the way you lose control.
And there we go, Records Roundup 88, one of the quickest ones yet. I've still got pre-orders and things that are coming very soon, but I figure, you know, I haven't made a Records Roundup in a few weeks. I've got enough to show here without this video going on too long, and plus I wanted to give a little bit of a vague update about the hi-fi situation. Plenty of good stuff coming out in September. Certainly, I can think right now off the top of my head a couple of big album releases that I have got on pre-order, and I can't wait to show you those, so look out for those in Records Roundup 89. Also, I've bought a box set, and hopefully that'll be on the channel unboxed this time next week from when you're watching this. Fingers crossed if there's no delays with postage. So a bit to look forward to on the channel coming up this September. But I want to say thank you for watching Records Roundup today. Special thanks go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, start listening to all this good stuff from the likes of Pet Shop Boys, Factory Floor, Morrissey, Ash, The Connells, Alphaville. Have I missed anyone? Yes, I probably have. Digital Emotion, that was it. All that stuff. And I can't wait to listen to it on my new system, but maybe by the time you're watching this that will all be set up and I'll be shooting the reveal video, but there's been a few technical and logistical problems, so I don't want to promise that may be down the road a piece. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Please join me again next time for the next Records Roundup and my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!